Hey guys, David Peterson, publicdomainphotography.com. Today I'm just going to talk you through RAW mode and why you should be shooting in RAW on the camera and post-image processing in Photoshop. So RAW file format basically captures all the data recorded by the sensor. So you take the picture, everything your camera is capable of recording is there. There's no loss of quality like in JPEG where there's a bit of compression. In the post-image processing. Post-image processing is entirely your call. Even a little camera RAW format with proper post-image processing can be great. So you achieve the highest quality, greater levels of brightness, easily correct any over or under exposure. Simple to do, I'll show you that in a minute. Adjust the white balance. Great detail because you're not losing quality. You edit as the camera took it. The camera's not making decisions for you. Higher quality ultimate printing, efficient workflow, and ultimately it's the professional choice. So let's grab an image up, guys, and we'll see what we can do with it. This was taken last night. Just down the road from me, and it's I'm going to pick a trickier image to deal with and see if we can capture the full benefits of RAW mode. I'm going to go with a landscape, waterscape over a local lake. This was shot on a long exposure. Okay guys, so as you can see we're in RAW now. You have exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, blacks, clarity, vibrance and saturation. The temperature, I generally leave it as shot. You can play with this temperature, you can see. Brings the shades of blue and yellows into it. In this case, you know, you could argue that the yellow looks nice. Just going to leave it around there for now. You can also tint the image, get some dramatic effects with the tint. So exposure, I'm going to just slightly underexpose it. Slight contrast increase, slight highlights, shadows, whites. Just increase the clarity slightly. So you can see the picture's looking already enhanced over the default. Now you can use Parametric with the highlights there and just adjust at the bottom here. You can see a little bit of a change in the top. You can lights, darks, or you can use point. Now I quite like point, so just increase goes lighter, decrease goes a bit darker. And as you can see guys, it gives you that total control over your image that you've worked hard to create. Now luminance noise reduction, there isn't much noise in this picture, but this will help reduce digital grain. However, what luminance does do in the noise reduction is it does reduce overall image quality, so it's a balance versus reduced grain, digital noise versus crispness and sharpness. Of course you can sharpen here, and this is basically just an enhanced sharpening aspect, which will crisp up your image. Here guys, you can play with colors. Okay, so you've got hue, saturation, luminance. You can move that up and down. So you see the way the orange changed in the background, you can increase that saturation slightly and the luminance of it, and this gives you total control. Now one example would be if we don't want any other colors except the orange, right there. Doesn't look great, does it? So let's swing that back to the default. Play around with our little you can just introduce hints of color. You can also convert it straight to black and white there if you want, guys. Convert it to grayscale. Any point you mess it up, just switch it back to default, and then there you go. Again, just fiddling around with hue, saturation with highlights, so you can see there it changes the colour a little bit. So that gives you quite a nice darker effect. Sunset, purple sky. Play with your shadows as well, these are your darker aspects to it. Lens correction. All these options, guys, are all available straight through RAW, okay? It's worth having a play with it. Vignetting's good. You can bring it in if you want to add that effect in. Also, midpoint you can highlight better. It's handy. Here, obviously, you can add grain to the image if you want. This is just more about control. There's a little bit more of your vignetting. Now, this is one of my favorites, is I save presets, so you can save all your settings here, save settings, and as you can see, this gives you the option to save all your settings. If you hit save, it gives you a chance to name them. Now, I'll delete this in a minute, guys, because this was just for an example, but RAW camera test Blake. And you see that's saved all the settings, and you can find them quite easily there. Apply, and there it is, RAW camera test Lake. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Last thing you have to do, is just click open image, and then it appears in Photoshop for your normal photography manipulation. And hope you enjoyed it, guys. This particular was shot over a longer exposure, this particular image. I'll just read the specifications for you now. So it was ISO 400, f-stop 7.1, and done in 1/10 of a second. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.